back po. Welcome again to Lira in Law. I'm your host, Lira Simon Kabatbat. I am a practicing solicitor of over 32 years. And I'm with Douglas Simon Solicitors. Our office has been in practice, opisina nga lang namin, for over 25 years. So we've been doing this a while. Now, without further ado, let's launch into our rather, like as usual nga, a big topic, no? Alternatives to marriage in immigration. As I've said, ito po ay final and part 4 of our topic of the issue of marriage, divorce, and immigration. Now, so alternatives to marriage. So in the last few times, tinignan natin, no, is there divorce in the UK? What happens nga, divorcing nga in the United Kingdom to do with immigration nga. And titingnan nga natin ngayon, topic natin, marriage, alternatives rather to marriage if you can't marry or don't want to marry, no, and to do with immigration. Okay, so applicants. So let's as usual, let's break it down so it makes so it makes more sense. So let's tingnan natin if we can put some structure. Then that's the issue nga with immigration, most areas of law, but particularly siguro immigration. There are lots of provisions coming from everywhere, and sometimes you can get lost in the detail. So let's see if we can look at it in a structured way, as usual, no? So so alternatives to marriage. So for whatever reason, either kasal na kayo sa atin, you can't marry, and you don't want to, no? Or not yet. Say, no, you're both single, you don't yet want to marry, but you want to live together in the United Kingdom. What alternatives do you have? So hindi pa nga kayo kasal. Yun titignan nga natin. So let's look first at applications from abroad. Okay? So sabihin natin nasa Pilipinas kayo or anywhere. No? But kung nasa Pilipinas nga kayo, gusto nyo pumasok dito, meron kayong boyfriend, fiance nga dito, boyfriend, girlfriend in the United Kingdom, and you want to make the United Kingdom your home. Ano ba ang pwede nyo gawin kung hindi nga kayo kasal muna? Okay? So una po, kung ang plano nyo, gusto nyo magpakasal nga dito, tapos balak nyo nga magpakasal, tapos babalik kayo sa atin, and then come in the spouse, it is then a marriage visit visa application. Okay? So unang-una, to bear in mind, this is a visit visa, otherwise known as tourist visa. Main thing to note is, dahil visit visa nga ito, hindi nyo pwedeng palitan to pagka nandito kayo to swap over to a spouse. So kung visit visa ang binigay sa inyo, ibig sabihin, visit visa nga lang kayo, bibisita kayo dito, pwede kayong magpakasal because it's a marriage visit visa. Pero pagkakasal na kayo, kailangan yung uwi sa atin to come back into the United Kingdom then as a spouse. Yun ang una. Now, some people, no, this is what they want. Itong kailangan nila for various reasons. So it could be that gusto nga nilang magpakasal dito dahil nga they just the families here say, no, or one set of families here, tapos babalik nga doon o gusto kailangan asikasuhin nga sa atin. For example, so you just want to marry in the UK and then go back to the Philippines, for example, to come back in as a spouse. That's a possibility. It also sometimes happens nga na kapos ang pera, no? Especially nga ngayon, £29,000 na ang minimum income requirement for a spouse visa. So it could be that you want to marry sooner rather than later, pero kapos nga yung pera nyo. So you want to marry first, babalik kayo sa atin, and then you want, and then maybe you can then satisfy yung asawa nyo, yung sponsor nyo can then satisfy after a little while the minimum income requirement for a spouse. So it's also that possibility. So sabihin natin yun ang balak nyo. Papasok nga kayo dito, magpapakasal nga lang kayo. What do you need to show? Okay? Now, you still need to show that you have money. Okay? Financial support. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang pera, no? But also accommodation. When they say financial support, both are together. Actually, they mean not just your money that you have, but also accommodation pagka nandito na nga kayo in the United Kingdom. A question I'm often asked is, well, can I use my partner's account? No? Bank account? Yes, you can. No, you can put forward nga bank statement ng partner nyo nga dito, ng boyfriend, girlfriend nyo, o fiance, as opposed to it's because you're looking to marry in the United Kingdom. If you have a job also, of course, use that too, no? Kailangan nyo pakita nga na may pera kayo. Because like all visit visas, kailangan nyo pakita na meron sapat ang sustento pagka nandito na kayo. Hindi lang sa bahay, but also the issue of finance. Okay? Kung meron kang malaking deposit, large deposits in your account, you should also explain. So kung nagpapadala yung boyfriend nyo, girlfriend nyo sa inyo, then you need to say, okay, to galing nga sa boyfriend, o itong maybe it's a sale from something, o kaya it's a gift, no, from someone. You need to explain it. Never ever, no, and I've also come across people who borrowed money to meron sa mapapakitang pera. Never ever do that, no. The una nga, that's not you're trying then to you're not providing the correct information, and that's never a good thing with the Home Office. At saka, they will ask you, you see, you need to explain it. And if you can't explain it properly, then they may say, well, you were trying to circumvent, no? Because you're showing that you have more money than you do. And that may in itself lead to refusal, okay? Pero kung may pera nga siya dito, kahit hindi nga 29,000 per annum ang income nga niya, pero sapat naman pagka nandito na nga kayo, then that's what you need to show. So payslips are also useful. So kung magpapakita ng bank statement, you can also link your payslips, okay? Kung galing sa inyo, galing sa partner nyo nga, so you should link the payslip. So for example, June na nga ngayon, no? June 2024. So kung meron kayong payslip nga ngayon, then when you provide your bank statement, you should also say, have a look at entry, whatever it is, dated 20th of June. You will see that the income has also gone into this account. So always link it. Savings are good, no? Kung meron nga kayong savings, then that's great. The ibig sabihin, hindi nga lang sapat, meron pang natitira, no? So again, that's good. Now, jobs, so meron kayong trabaho sa atin. If they're allowing you to take a sabbatical, then matatagal nga kayo dito, or just a few weeks holiday, babalikan nyo nga sila. Again, get a letter to say, kailan kayo nag-umpisa doon, anong ginagawa nyo, anong sweldo nyo, and that you have permission to have 2-3 weeks holiday or 6 months sabbatical nga, because it's a longer time, and then you have your job waiting for you. That's always good because it shows that you have something to go back to. Now, tip ko, no? And I always try to be practical during our sessions. Provide a statement. Parang sulat, but actually sa akin, I provide statements because it's more formal, and it focuses also your mind a bit more, no? So rather than letters. So sabihin nyo doon, sino kayo, no? So you're the applicant, yeah? When were you born? Even though that's on the application form already. When were you born? How did you meet? No? Yung boyfriend, girlfriend yung nga dito. Why are you looking to marry in the United Kingdom? No? Dahil nandito siguro pamilya niya, for example. Where are you going to live? No? So lahat yun dun sa statement nyo. Yeah? So make sure nandun nga, mainly because it explains things eh. Ang problema, mga tao, pagka nabigay sila ng bank statements, for example, wala namang explanation. Makikita ng Home Office nga, suddenly there's, £1,000 saan nanggaling, doesn't actually say. So where there are things that you think you should explain, like sudden money, large sums of money being deposited in your account, sabihin nyo, okay? Lalagay nyo dun sa statement nyo. So all of those documents need to be then submitted to the Home Office. Plus, okay, dahil marriage visit visa to, no? Don't forget, you have to start giving notice nga to the marriage registrar, okay? It could be, nasasabihin ng registrar, no, you have to both be here to give notice because that's usual actually. Don't despair kung wala kayong mapapakitang notice nga date. It just means you've written, so kailangan nyo sumulat, you can do emails, no? Sasagot man sila. You can email them, you can say, we would like to register, we'd like to make an appointment for notice to give, but I'm from abroad, can you please let me know what the position is? So yung papakita nyo, sasama nyo dun sa application. Kaya kailangan nalang makita na yung nga ang dahilan. Pagpapasok kayo dito, yung dahilan, because it's a marriage for marriage nga. And then, hopefully, all that then means that you will be complete. Now, I'm going to show to you what the application form looks like. Yung form 1 ko, no? So let me just have a look at if I can find it. My form 1. Sandali. Document 1 ko, if I can find it. Sandali lang. Itong itsura. Okay? So this makikita nyo, no? So midway down, type of visa application, visitor visa. Okay? Now, so it's usually for 6 months. You can apply for longer visit visa nga, but each time 6 months nga lang. And if it's a marriage visit visa, 6 months is really what you want. If you make an application for longer than that, they'll wonder, because really you want to make an application nga sooner rather than later. So the application nga is submitted online. So it asks you for personal information, all of those. I'm going to keep this form online. Okay, so makikita nyo nga mamaya. But if you, I'll just see if I can scroll down. Makikita nyo all those things nga. It's asking for various items. So kailang kayo dadating nga dito, personal information sa, so makikita nyo. So if I just go back, sorry, sandali, let me just go back up a little bit now. Dahil hindi pa nga kayo kasal, okay? So even though you are effectively looking to marry in the UK, ang lalagay nyo, it's a drop-down list. So it would then be, you need to click the, you are unmarried partner effectively, okay? Because that would be your status, because you're coming into the United Kingdom to join your partner, no? To be married in the United Kingdom. So you can also use, you're then an unmarried partner, okay? There are other options, but that would be the one. So that's the form na kailangan niyong pakita, no? Kailangan niyong kumpletuhin. That's on the Home Office website. It doesn't look like that immediately, beware, okay? So on the online application, it will ask you various questions. So isa-isa nga lang. And then when you've submitted it, then you print the application form nga mismo, itong itsura. So effectively, it doesn't look immediately nga like that. So it's quite a long form, but don't be daunted, no? And the questions they ask are questions that you'll be able to answer. Yung nga lang, kailangan nyo nga lang mag-ingat, make sure that you complete everything properly, and of course, beware of spelling mistakes, because sometimes nga, it's easy to miss out, you know, to miss out an A or an E, no? Ako kabat-bat, no? So sometimes I miss out. I have many A's in kabat-bat. So sometimes I miss out 1 or 2 A's. So don't do that, no? It needs, of course, to be completed properly. So purpose of your visit is to marry in the United Kingdom. Okay, so visitor visa po yun, papasok nyo, and that means it is only to visit in the UK, marry in the United Kingdom, tapos babalik kayo. So, ibig sabihin, that's one of, so hindi nga kayo kasal, you're coming into the UK to marry. Now, second option, no? So this is an application from abroad, fiancé visa. Fiancé visa is quite different, of course, from a marriage visit visa in many ways. Okay? It's more similar really to a spouse visa. But of course, spouse visa means kasal na nga kayo. But a fiancé visa means you're coming into the United Kingdom to marry. Now, the main difference between a fiancé and marriage visit visa is pagka nandito na nga kayo with a fiancé visa, hindi nyo kailangang bumalik sa atin. So that means pagka nandito kayo fiancé visa, you can then, pagkakasal na kayo, apply to swap that visa to a spouse visa in country. Okay, the reason for that is you pretty much satisfy with the things that they ask of you are very, very similar to spouse conditions. So tingnan nga natin, yeah. Una nga, fiancé visa 6 months lang ang bibigay sa inyo muna. Okay, during that time kailangan yung magpasal nga, no? But even though 6 months nga lang bibigay sa inyo, the conditions are quite a lot and quite strict. So, and very similar to spouse, as I say. So, English language, kailangan nyo gawin na yon. A1. A1 level lang. You don't need to go beyond that. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. A1. Okay? Kailangan nyo pa rin ng TB negative certificate. Okay? So, tuberculosis. Even though you're only here for 6 months. Initially, yung visa nyo nga. Money. Kailangan nyo pakita ang income ng sponsor nyo is now no less than the minimum income requirement, which is £29,000. Dati, 18,600. Nagbago na po yun. Okay? So from this year, it is now £29,000 before tax, but nevertheless, it's £29,000, and they say that's likely to go up. Tingnan natin. But it's £29,000 ang kailangan nyo. Of course, accommodation, okay? And dahil papasok nga kayo dito sa fiancé, ability to marry. You cannot be married anywhere else sa Pilipinas. You need to get rid of that marriage. And of course, yung partner nyo nga dito. So, fiancé visa, you must be able to show nga that you are already, you're able to marry in the United Kingdom. Because 6 months lang bibigay sa inyo muna, ha? 6 months lang bibigay sa inyo, in fact, as a fiancé. So, importante nga yun. Now, let me just show you what it looks like, the fiancé application form. Okay? So, form 2 po. Sandali. Na po nga ito. My form 2. Let me see if I can find it. Form 2. Let me see if I can upload. So, ito po. Okay. Let me just go up a bit. Okay, makikita nyo yan. So, type of visa application, apply to enter the UK as a partner. Okay, so again, that is that's the choice, no? The drop down list, and service option standard you can apply for priority, for example, kung gusto nyo. Pero itong itsura. Again, it's an online application. Again, mahaba po. No, itong form. But again, don't be daunted. It's all the information that they seek are information you will already have. So wag ka nga kayong mag-alala. But just make sure that you have all your documents with you. By that, starting with really your passport. Kailangan yung lagay yung numero ng reference ng passport nyo, numero nga, no? Personal details nyo, personal details ng fiancé nyo nga. So all those things. Again, I will leave this form so that you can have a look nga later on, and feel free to know if you want to download, go ahead, download. This is a sample form nga that I've completed previously. So again, yung online application mismo, hindi ganitong itsura kasi it's online. When you print it, at the end of it, when you print it, ganito na itsura. Okay? So at least you get an idea ano bang kailangan nila. So hopefully that's helpful to you. But so it's so the difference though, so sabihin natin nag-fiancé visa application kayo. Why do that rather than a spouse? Well, the main thing is, as I say, it's an alternative to marriage. For whatever reason, you can't get married sa atin, you want to enter the United Kingdom to marry here, pagka nandito na nga kayo, then you want to swap over your fiancé visa to that of a spouse. Absolutely, you can do that. Okay? So, yung nga, just be beware that a lot of the conditions na gusto na makita is pretty much very similar, in fact, to that of a spouse application. No? I remember, ang bisang bibigay nga sa inyo is only for 6 months as a fiancé. Okay, so it's you need to be able to marry within that time, and bear in mind also. Pagka pumasok nga kayo dito sa fiancé, you're not able to work until you change it over to a spouse visa. Now, the only other thing to bear in mind, importante po ito, is you cannot come into the United Kingdom as a fiancé kung ang sponsor nyo, hindi pa sila residente dito. Okay? So, wala silang permanent residence o kaya settlement status o British dito nga, no? So, if your sponsor is, sabihin natin, estudyante or tier 2 or skilled, well, actually less so student nowadays, but tier 2 skilled worker, for example, also not carers, because carers are actually not allowed to bring in their family now, if they're just coming in now into the UK. But if they have limited leave, you can't come in as a fiancé. No, there's another way of coming in, and I'll deal with that in a moment. But not as a fiancé. The reason for that is it's specifically you're not regarded as family within the definition of the immigration rules. So I'll look at that now. So it's but saying that, there's another possibility. No, so sabihin natin you're joining your fiancé here as a pero sila ang status nga nila skilled worker nga sila dito, no? So is there another way? Yes, and that leads me nicely to the issue of unmarried partners. Okay, now unmarried partners, the form that you need to complete is the same form as the fiancé form. Okay? Pinakita ko kanina. So let me go back to Form 2. Tingnan natin. Let me go back. Yung pinakita ko kanina, let me just flash that again. Yung Form 2 natin. Sandali po. Let me have a look. Yeah, so ito. The Form 2. Let me just see if I can go up. Yep. Okay, ito. So, makikita nyo dyan. So, it's the same form that we completed na pinakita ko niya sa inyo kanina. Apply to enter the UK as a partner. Okay? So, nasa labas mga kayo, nasa Pilipinas nga kayo, you're making an application to come in as a married partner. Now, let's look at that a little bit more. So, you're not coming in as a marriage visit visa. You're not coming in as a fiancé. But you want to come in as an unmarried partner. So, ibig sabihin, hindi nga kayo kasal. Okay? But you want to enter the UK. What does that mean? Okay? There are two provisions. So, they are what's called Immigration Rules 6.2. Okay? If you want to look it up, for those of you like me who are a bit nerdy about these things, no? Immigration Rule 6.2 ang tawag nga. But more information can be found from the caseworker guidance dated April 2024. Now, again, it's important nga makita nyo ano ba ibig sabihin. So let me just show you the guidance, okay? Let me just see if I can find it. Sandali nga lang, no? So yung guidance nga, let me have a look. Yung guidance mismo. Hindi ito yung form, not that one. So let me have a look. Let me take that off. Tapos tingnan natin the guidance. So immigration rules guidance nga. Let me just see if I can find it. If I can't find it, and I think I printed it. I'll show it to you. So ito, okay, I'll find it in a moment. There's itong itsura. Okay, let me just put it up. So ito pong itsura. Okay, so partners, yeah. So let me just read to you what this actually says. So I'll flash that nga in a moment. So Immigration Rule 6.2, more information provided by the Caseworker Guidance, April 2024. So when I find out, I'll flash it for you. So what does it say? No? Sabi dito, a partner is defined in the immigration rules as a person who is a spouse. Okay? But of course, yung pinag-usapan nga natin ngayon, you're not a spouse, hindi nga kayo kasal. Or a civil partner. Again, you're not in a civil partnership. Or an unmarried partner. So ito, unmarried partner where the couple have been in a relationship similar to marriage or civil partnership for at least 2 years. Okay. Now, then the caseworker guidance goes on further. They say there's no requirement, yeah, for the parties to a durable relationship to have been living together for at least 2 years. No requirement, no, living together of at least 2 years. Then nagbago nga ang batas, nagbago interpretation nga, actually only a few months ago, 2-3 months ago. As long as the relationship is similar to a marriage or civil partnership, okay? And then there's it goes on about definition of durable relationship. Then it goes on to say, pinag-usapan natin yung fiancé kanina, a fiancé, yeah, or proposed civil partner is not included in the definition of partner. However, a fiancé or proposed civil partner may also meet the requirements for a durable relationship. Ibig sabihin po doon, it could be na ang balak nyo kasal nga kayo dito, no? So you are looking to enter the case of fiancé, but in fact, you've been in a relationship like a marriage. So hindi nga lang dating, hindi nga lang boyfriend-girlfriend, but more than that. By that, I mean things like pinapadala kayo kung kayong papasok nga dito, no? Pinapadala nga kayong pera, nakatira kayo sa bahay na jointly owned by you o nanay, tatay niya, for example, o pagka umuwi siya, doon siya umuwi sa iyo. Meron kayong mga anak, no? That's the typical thing. So, and that relationship has been ongoing for a minimum of 2 years. Pero hindi nyo kailangang magsama, but it must be a relationship like a marriage, no? Sometimes you will see it as phrased as akin to marriage. This means like a marriage. So you have to have that commitment. Oh, I found the partner guidance definition. So ito, again, I'm going to leave that online, so any one of you who wants to see what it means, that's actually there. So that's a guidance from the caseworkers for the caseworkers, dated April 2024. So it's fairly up to date nga. So yun, so kailangan nyo pakita that you are in a relationship akin to marriage. So hindi, papasok nga kayo dito, hindi kayo kasal, come into the UK as a non-married partner. But bear in mind, kung yung application nyo, kailangan nyo pakita all the conditions that you need to show as a spouse. So by that, I mean yung TB certificate, negative TB certificate, kailangan yung pera, 29,000 pounds minimum income requirement, kailangan yung accommodation, kailangan yung pakita na you do have a subsisting relationship. It can be shown by various things. If you have documents your bank accounts together, merong bahay, it's in joint names, meron kayong mga anak, that's the best evidence often. Photos you can provide, but frankly, the weight given to photographs in the way of evidence is pretty low. So hopefully you have much more than that. And when they say like a marriage, they mean it. And minimum 2 years. So remittances, kung pinapadala nga kayo o kayo nagpapadala. So all those things, kailangan yung pakita. So as I've said, kung nandun kayo sa Pilipinas, sabihin natin, or anywhere, you're looking to enter the United Kingdom, pero hindi kayo kasal, then the alternatives are, as I've said, visit visa, marriage visit visa. Bear in mind, it's marriage visit visa, not just visit visa. The standard visit visa, that's not marriage visit visa. You must click the bit that says marriage visit visa. Fiancé, so dito nga din kayo magpapakasal. Pagka nandito na nga kayo, kinasal na kayo, pwede nyo palitan nga yun to a spouse, or indeed the unmarried partner route. So for whatever reason, hindi nga kayo kasal, hindi pa kayo pwede yung magpakasal, hindi ka pwede magpakasal, then you enter the United Kingdom as an unmarried partner. But kailangan yung pakita po na yung relasyon nyo is akin to marriage, like a marriage, a minimum of 2 years. And they really do mean that. Importante po ebidensya. So those are the 3 most common possibilities. Now, not to neglect, of course, mga tako nandito na nga kayo, or you're already in the United Kingdom. Yeah. Now, kung nandito na nga kayo, let me just show you if I can find the form. It's Form 3. So, tignan ko nga ito, Form 3. Pakita ko yung application form. Alright? So, let me just see if I can find nga the application Form 3. Ito. Alright? Ito po ang itsura. Okay? Family route. Makikita nyo doon, total fee is £1,048. It's a little bit lower, the application fee kung nandito na nga kayo. But don't forget, there's IHS fee as well. Yeah. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap application. Okay. So you're already in the United Kingdom. Now let's look at that. Let's unpack that nga a little bit. So nandito na nga kayo. You cannot or do not wish to marry, but you want to swap your visa. May visa na nga kayo dito, based on your relationship with your partner in the United Kingdom. You have limited leave, so sabihin natin, you are a worker in the UK, okay? So, bear in mind also, not all visas can be swapped, like visit visa, for example. You can't simply swap that nga to the unmarried partner route, for example. Okay, yung tinitingnan nga natin kanina, dahil ayaw yung magpakasal o hindi kayo pwede magpakasal. The unmarried partner route to a relationship akin to marriage, like a marriage, a minimum of 2 years. Una pong kailangan yung pag-isipan, is it a good idea, to swap it, and I've had this actually a few times na. So sabihin natin skilled worker kayo dito, or in the before that tier 2, may trabaho nga kayo dito. Kung yun ang visa nyo, usually you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain for settlement status after 5 years of that type of visa. Okay? From the date of entry into the United Kingdom. Now, kung papalitan niyo yun to the unmarried partner route, because you've been together nga the minimum of 2 years, and you can show that indeed you are in a relationship like a marriage for 2 years. More likely than not, nagsasama na nga kayo, then you're in the United Kingdom. Then be careful if you really want to swap it. Dahil kung papalitan nyo nga yun, ibig sabihin, kailangan nyo mag-umpisa ulit. No? In that the time na nandito kayo as a skilled worker, for example, or under Tier 2, you cannot count that towards the partner route, the unmarried partner route, or indeed the spousal route. Okay? Kung kasal nga kayo. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nyo mag-umpisa ulit. So, it has to be a total of 5 years in order to get indefinite leave to remain. Kung unmarried partner nga kayo, you have a relationship like a marriage, minimum of 2 years, or if you even have a spouse visa. So, 2.5 years ang una, tapos 2.5 years ulit. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, umpisa na naman. So, have a look, no? Kung meron kayong visa dito as a Tier 2 or skilled worker nga kayo, makikita, and you can apply, say, within the 1 year, no? Within the year, 4 years na nga kayo dito, why bother swapping it? Just stay with doing what you're doing, and complete your 5 years, and then make an application up for indefinite leave to remain. You don't have to, as long as you still satisfy the conditions of the visa nga that you have. Okay? So, yeah, be practical. Tingnan nyo, no? Do not immediately assume na kailangan yung palitan, because sometimes it's also better not to. But if you do want to, and sometimes people would prefer it. So una nga, because they no longer want to be tied to that employer, and they don't want to be looking for an employment nga that would then provide them with a certificate of sponsorship, o kaya gusto nilang ayaw nilang magtrabaho, o di sila pwede magtrabaho because there are children coming, for example, or children are there. So there could be various reasons why you cannot continue with the type of visa nga that you have. Kung yun, then yeah, sure, swap it over. Okay? But bear in mind, as I say, you have to start over. So makuha yung visa nyo nga ngayon as an unmarried partner, or indeed as a spouse, same consequence, no? Then you have to start from today, the 5 years na kailangan yung pakita before you can achieve indefinite leave to remain. Okay? So hindi nga yung basta-basta, no? Now, if you're in the UK, no, but wala nga kayong visa dito, and you're now an overstayer, okay? More complex rules apply. It's so complex that I won't even it's difficult really to give any kind of useful advice, no, ngayon. So ang payo ko, kung yung status nyo, wala nga kayong visa dito, and meron kayong fiancé, o meron kayong partner nga dito, and then you want to see, can you regularize your stay in the UK? For goodness sake, bago kayo magpasok ng application, seek advice, seek legal advice, see a solicitor before doing anything. Unang-una, malaking bayan, £1,048 plus the IHS fee. No? So, hindi nila apart from the IHS fee. So, you should really ensure as much as you can that it is worthwhile making the application. Pangalawa, kung wala na nga kayong visa dito, delikado nga yung status nyo. So before doing anything, you should really seek advice, because of course, it may make it more difficult for you once you come to the attention of the Home Office, right? So, pero hindi naman ibig sabihin walang magagawa, but I'm just saying you need to be careful. Okay? Ingat. Oh, actually, for anything, no? Ingat nga. So those are. So kahit nga hindi ka kayo kasal, ayaw nyo nga magpakasal dito, whatever really, hindi naman ibig sabihin wala ng options. So those are, the majority of the options available. There are also exceptions, circumstances on all of that, but those are the main options that are available. Now, I hope that was useful to you, and it's as I say, no, laki na nga ang topic natin, and we dealt with quite a few things. So, but I'm going to leave up the forms, okay? So gusto niyo bisitahin nga mamaya uli yung Facebook page namin, and of course, oh, by the way, not only are we on Facebook, We're of course also on YouTube. Yeah, and if you can, libre naman, subscribe, follow us, no, so that way you don't miss any future uh, shows nga natin, and we're getting more and more popular. You'll see from the views. So I hope I'm on the right track nga in providing in dealing with the topics that we're dealing with, and that it's of interest to you. And look, I take requests. I'm like a DJ. I take requests. So kung meron kayong gustong pag-usapan, a topic that is that's bugging you, o meron kayong mga kaibigan, mga kamag-anak, or you yourself, that you want me to deal with in more detail, absolutely. All you have to do is email me. You'll see my email nga later, and ask me, to deal with it. But we will one of the things now, of course, you said one of the segments na natin tanungan mamaya. But before the tanungan, okay, it is we're going to have my favorite part, my absolute favorite part of the show, yung batian natin, and because last week it was I had to pre-record yung show nga natin, because I was attending a wonderful do provided by the Philippine Embassy nga last Thursday for our Independence Day. So I was there having a great time. They were very, very generous. They were so kind, the atmosphere was wonderful as usual. We know and we like to party. And so there was food galore, may ice cream, and you know what? Afterwards, there was even a goodie bag. I mean, you can't beat that, no? Not only do they provide entertainment, and the singer was great. The company was wonderful. Ambassador and Mrs. Locsin were very generous now with their time. So it was a great time. But anyway, that's what I was doing last Thursday. So we had to pre-record. It was still new. It was pre-recorded, but with the help, nakita niyo naman, of Egay the Guy. So if you missed it, go back to last week, because that was actually a very good, also a very interesting topic nga. But anyway, I digress, sabi nga nila. So we're going to have a look at Darbati, and I missed it last week, and I really, really did. I really missed it. So tingnan natin. Hopefully we have some comments